Hello there, beautiful being. Oh my goodness, it's been a whirlwind since I've been on here last. But I've been to Belize. I've turned 50. I visited my in-laws in Pagosa Springs. I went through a weekend whirlwind of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi business training. And now I'm here with you. And I want to talk about the topic of fear. I want to talk about how it's easy to get reeled into fear and how today I want to help you reel out of fear and expand into trust. Now, we are infinite light beings. Let me say that again. We are infinite light beings. And fear is us forgetting that. Fear is telling ourselves that we don't trust life, that we don't trust our infinite nature, that we don't trust the source nature that we are, or our creator, or the universe. Fear is a biological response to the beliefs that we are having. So guys, one of the quickest ways that I like to shift fear is sound. So at the end of today's video, I'm going to give you a little sounding, but I want to tune into the thoughts and beliefs, because at that layer of our humanity, the habits of our thoughts and beliefs, and then the habit of the emotional response is what is kind of encapsulating us in fear. And it's really, really important to start unencapsulating that and expanding that out. Fear is truly just a distractor element, distracting us from our greatness, distracting us from our source selves. And so a lot of people are under a lot of stress right now. We all have some different points of view about current events and what's happening and the different news feeds and media that we're watching and how we're responding to that. And they filter into our thoughts and then filter into our belief systems. So we have to have a very strong way of working with our thoughts. Okay, when a scary post or a scary headline or someone's letting you know about scary information that you feel that could really adversely affect yourself and your family, it's time to be diligent, really diligent about what we're going to allow into this mind, this noggin here, okay, into our heart. So there's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of people in fear mode, okay? And that's creating stress. So we have to be filters. We have to filter what we're going to let in. So one easy way is stop watching all the news, stop watching all the headlines, get off social media. And you might say, like, I can't live in a bubble. And it's just like, why not? So my thing is just like, are you willing to be your highest self and be the vibration of that highest self? And from there, be aware of what that feels like. And then from there, you'll be guided in your bubble of what's important for you to be looking at. Okay, but when you look at something out of concern or fear, you're going to find a headline that matches concern or fear. So one thing is, start to really live in more of a bubble. And I mean that in a way of not to ignore, but to get in alignment and really start looking at what's in alignment with you from there. And then those headlines will match your vibration. Okay. And now secondly is, if you have friends or family or just people in your lives that have a different journey right now with current events, and they're in a lot of fear, you may want to just send them light and love, but try not to catch their fear like a cold. All right, you don't want to get their vibration of fear and have it spiral you down. So these are people we care about. These are people we love. How do you keep from catching their fear? And what we do is we get so in tune with our heart. We get so in tune with the source nature of ourselves. We get so in tune in trusting ourselves as an infinite being, that the universe has our back. And we start to know that if whatever happens to us, we're going to have an easeful journey with it. So, ease and joy. So one of the things that a practice I like to use is an access consciousness mantra. Before I get out in the morning, I say it 10 times to myself. All life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And sometimes I even love singing it too. Somewhere on my YouTube page, I do have me singing it. So I'll sing it a little bit for you. All life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. So you can sing that. Sing that 10 times or say it 10 times to yourself. And that starts to elevate your vibration. What I know in this world and in every fiber of my being is that like attracts like. We are all vibrational beings. So wherever we want to play vibrationally, we're going to attract things, okay? And sometimes we're attracting things from our subconscious that is not really apparent to us. So we're like, I'm in so high vibe and I'm in such a good mood. Why is this coming at me? It doesn't seem like a match. It seems like a lower vibe than me. But if we haven't spent the time really working on and clearing up some of our subconscious stuff and past programming, that can be still active, like a broken record that you start to keep hearing in the background and you don't even realize it's playing anymore because it just goes over and over. That's kind of what happens. So we have to build awareness of our subconscious. So one of the ways that I do that is I meditate every morning. I sit still and I align with my source self, and then I tone. I let out ah and oohs, and I just let out sounds to release anything that's coming up and give me awareness of what's active in my vibration. And I clear it up. So guys, it's important to clear up our energy, just like we clean our teeth every morning, just like we take showers every day. It's important to clear up our internal energy system and our energetic field. And so one of the things I do to do that daily is at night, I destroy and uncreate. Or if you don't like those words, you can, I cut the cords, okay? I cut the energetic cords from all the media that I saw. I cut the energetic cords from all the relationships in my life. I cut the energetic cords from any lower vibe emotions like fear and guilt and shame and anger, and I cut those cords and I let them go. By cutting the cords, I'm also decording from where I was cording to anyone else that might have had those lower vibe feelings and emotions. So it's really important to clear up where you're energetically cording to people and where you are just your field in general. Okay, now if some of us have teenagers and people we're living with that are younger that are pretty set in their ways and they don't seem to be taking care of themselves emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, and they're not willing to step aboard with just physical things to keep them well and healthy, and they're living with us. It can be stressful living with someone that's not taking care of themselves. But it's only stressful because we're letting the fear bubble up and take us over. So what do? We look at our own fear. Where is this fear coming from? Is it coming from not trusting my place in my life? Is it coming from not trusting that the universe has my back? That whatever I go through, all of ease, joy, and glory. Whatever I go through will be part of my awakening journey. So even if we get sick, what if we could get sick and still have this sense of all is well? All is well. And I know a lot of us are fearing death these days, that there's something in our field that threatens us to get sick and die. We're all going to die. We're all going to leave these bodies, release from these bodies. And the sooner we get in tune with being okay, with being an infinite being and knowing that these bodies are going to release, the more we have more ease with what's going to happen in life. So, that said, we don't really want to go before a time or before we're ready. So it's really important to let go of fear and live our lives with no regrets. What if you stepped off a curb and a truck hit you and you left your body? It could happen in an instant. Just because we have some pretty big illnesses happening that really threaten our well-being and our mortality doesn't mean that we couldn't just like fall down the stairs and die instantly in an hour. So, and the fact that people die in cars and we drive our cars all over the place without fear. Guys, there's something to work with, okay? If we have fear, it's something to work with. So one of my big fears right now is driving in a car. I don't like driving a car as a passenger, and being on a plane is a little scary for me. But I don't want to be trapped and not drive and not be in a plane. So what I do with my fear is I was a passenger for 12 hours of my journey driving, and then in a plane, 3 different planes, 6 different planes over the past week. So the way I worked through my fear is I just went within. I went within to my source self, and I know that vibration well. So I just tuned into that. And this is how I've been working with my fear, how I've been working with not letting the thoughts and the emotions take over. I just have to kind of calm that down. All right. And I like to use sound. So I did promise I would do some sound. So I hope some of this is resonating with you. Beautiful being, you are an infinite being. The universe has your back. Let's do some of these practices to release the fear and really live in our lives and live without regret. So here's just a little sounding to help you just calm that fear and refocus into your infinite beingness. Feel your vibration lift with the sound. Vibration, feel it, mark it, remember it, come back to it throughout your day. When fear hits, remember this vibration. Thank you for being here, beautiful one.